Well, all this week we've been talking about getting out into the gardens and greening things up. Today, CTV's Colton Wiens looks at keeping things growing with some fertilizer options that are also friendly to our planet with gardening expert Carson Arthur.
Well, it's springtime. That means it's time to head outside and enjoy some of the outside nature. And we've got gardening expert Carson Arthur with us here today. Thank you, Carson, for joining us.
My pleasure. This is an important one, so I like being here for this conversation.
And what are we talking about today?
All right, so we're going to talk about being more environmentally friendly in your outdoor spaces. Homeowners today need to take advantage of their back and front yards, but to do it in a way that's better not just for themselves, but also for the planet. So I'm going to show you some really easy ways to do that.
All right, where do we start?
Let's start with fertilizers, all right? At this time of year, spring, everybody wants to get out and start fertilizing the grass and the plants, and I understand that completely, but we've got to move to organic fertilizers. So we now know, new studies coming out, that chemical fertilizers, 1 pound of chemical fertilizer releases 4 to 5 pounds of CO2 back into the air. And we don't want to do that, so we want to move more to organics. So whether you're doing things like for your vegetable planters, or you're doing flowers, bone meal, blood meal, even for your lawn, there are organic options across the board. And what's really nice is not only do they help rehabilitate the soil, but at the same time, you're doing it in a way that actually keeps the CO2 locked in the ground. That's what we're looking for. So when you're choosing your fertilizer this year, and you head to the big box stores, your garden centers, you'll notice organic fertilizers are taking up a lot more space. That's because consumers are really starting to get on board with it.
Are they cost effective, and are they effective?
They are. What's different about organic versus chemical is chemical fertilizers work faster, and people see the immediate response, and we think, oh, that's great, our grass is greening up really fast. But organic fertilizers in the long run, so much better. Even ones made with things like chicken manure, cow manure, these are the ways that we used to do it. We all need to kind of go back to that.
Yeah, trust the process and trust nature to be nature.
Exactly. Speaking of CO2, we got to get away from our gas-powered tools. More and more people are starting to move to battery-operated, and I'm a huge fan of this, and I've been talking about this for years. Battery-operated tools that use actual batteries like this, which are recyclable. These are a clean source of energy. So for example, when we're out cutting our lawn, if you're using just an ordinary 2-stroke gas-powered mower, it puts out the same amount of CO2 in the air as driving your car over 800 kilometers. That is a huge number, and I think everybody's out cutting their grass at this time of year. So moving to battery platforms is not only smarter ecology-wise, but at the same time, these batteries power both your indoor tools, your outdoor tools. It's the same battery. So you're now starting to see companies like Craftsman not even selling you complete battery systems because they know you've got the battery that you can go from tool to tool to tool. Yeah. So when you go into your tool shed, take a look at the line that you like using best and invest in battery outdoor and indoor tools to accompany it.
I do have to ask, how effective is it?
Yeah, so battery power indoors for construction has been up at the top for a long time. You're starting to see that now in outdoors. As compared to a gas-powered mower, obviously battery's not going to be as good, but still very effective for most homeowners in today's spaces.
Yes.
All right, and finally, birds. Now this is a huge conversation, and we were talking about too. Your birds just found your feeder.
Yep.
There's a real problem going on right now, and this is going to shock people. We know our Canadian birding populations have dropped almost 15% in the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's a scary number out by the David Suzuki Foundation, but the way homeowners can help is by feeding the birds all season long. We always think just feed the birds in the wintertime, but if you have a good bird feeder, a good source of seed, not only are the nests having more eggs in them, but there's more baby birds surviving as a result. So do not stop feeding the birds, whether it's seed, hummingbirds, oriole feeders, get out and feed the birds all summer long to help increase those birding populations.
Does it matter what feeder I get if I'm worried about other animals getting at it?
Well, it's not so much the feeder, although feeders help. I'm also a huge fan of the mix.
Yes.
So this mix, this squirrel-free mix, Canadian product out of Wild Bird Trading, what they've done is they've taken away the sunflower and the peanuts because that's what the squirrels want. All the other seeds are here, the birds love it, but you don't get the rodents. So there's ways to control nature. Just do it in the way that's most environmentally friendly.
Yes, well, we've got lots of ideas to do that. Very, very friendly to nature, and a great way to start your spring and get into summer.
There we go.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, Carson. There you go.